Hi, everybody. It's Ryann Lavinia back again with FIBBcast, and I have our special guest, of course, my husband, Mr. FIBB, and Robbie and Shawn with us from Sciton. So we're excited, and we are going to talk all about men. So our Dude Den and launch of Dude Den with FIBB.
That is so cool.
That is
so cool.
Yeah.
So we share the news.
Super excited about this. It's a little adventure for us to branch off out of the normal FIBB and kind of get over the stigma of guys coming into our practice. And we thought about it, and the launch of the Dude Den will be official here soon, but this is a good precast to it. And have some great guys on here to talk about it. So we're super excited about this.
Congratulations. I love this concept and that brand. Fire. Cool, right? Fire.
Yeah,
that's
the logo.
Dude Den.
The logo's badass.
Dude Den is super. That's super cool.
You guys got the rights to that, right?
We did.
Yes.
Okay, good.
We did. Yeah. We were smart about that. I see where you're going.
Yeah, it's really good.
I see where you're going.
Yeah, trademark. We got a good attorney. So.
We're looking for. I think it's going to be great. You know, Ryan sees a ton of females into the practice, and I do feel like the guys trickle in, but they don't come in. I think and there's a huge need for it. Yeah. Not just from the laser perspective of what we talk about here with you guys, but from the BioT and talking about hormone replacement, IV drips, talk about body sculpting, those type of things. All those things come into play and everything we can do inside of a Dude Den. So yeah, it's a cool little thing. We're excited about it.
Well, and they, travel the country and speaking, and, it's Sciton, was created by, these lasers are created by men, but it's funny how a lot of guys are afraid to get into this industry. And so from our perspective, we're growing this because I see a huge potential.
There's a need.
2% of, the population that's engaging. Yeah. And we were talking earlier that, men are following their wives in because especially from a BBL perspective, we're doing laser to, these females and they've been doing treatments for 20 years. And the husbands will say, that's the only thing I've noticed, how good your skin looks.
That's awesome.
So,
that adage is true. I've heard it from countless practices that a lot of their male patients are coming in by virtue of their spouse that's had a nice outcome. And they're like, I gotta get my guy in here. I gotta get my guy in here to have a treatment. So healthy skin's in. I mean,
and it's for everybody.
To me, it's about skin health. Skin health is for everybody. I mean, like depending on the degree of change you want, you can go in any which direction there. But one thing that's interesting is you will have a male patient that may dip their toe in the water that after a nice experience, a successful outcome, all of a sudden is like, let's do more.
All in.
Yeah, let's do more.
I get addicted. I got addicted easily on it. I do 3 or 4 BBLs every year. I definitely do my halo every year.
2 halos.
2 halos every year.
Moxi.
I'm in the sun a lot. I'm out either on the baseball field or the golf course, or we're out on the boat.
Sure.
So we're out in the sun a lot, living in South Florida, and it's easy to get a little bit of color.
Sure.
Right? And so, but it's also turned into a little bit of skin damage along the way. So,
well, I think the one thing that is a breakthrough in terms of as we pioneer or open up this new segment, for males coming in for aesthetics at the same rate as females, it's what you just said. You can have an active lifestyle and you can still make it all happen. I think some people may assume that because I like to boat, because I like to golf, especially in South Florida, that this isn't a window of opportunity for me, which is entirely wrong. And you come into a clinic like FIBB where you've got all the right resources, all the right technology to get amazing outcomes coupled with your skincare lines. And there's an approach to, I think, not only give folks the ability to have healthy skin that they feel great in, but to protect that and maintain it over time in a really simple format.
Yeah, and I think there's the idea of going in with the downtime as well, with some of the pain that maybe goes associated with it as well. Sure. And then the downtime after that, guys are like, I can't go to the office for a couple of days or maybe potentially with a halo. Well, I go to the office the next day.
Yep.
I'm proud to show it off, and it'll be easy to talk about it, and it's a little billboard for us as well. But at the same time, it's not that bad.
He was in the office yesterday, and one of my patients is like, "Where's your husband? He is so good looking. Look at it." And she talks about his skin because she's known us for a long time. And she's like, "What is he doing?" And she's like, "I see that he halos, but Moxi and BBL, the BBLs. Sure. Talk about doing a BBL once a month."
I haven't done body yet. That's the one thing I want.
We've
to do.
done your
I
back.
do the back. I have to do my chest. still. But
Yeah, you see what's interesting though is like for me, I'm the ultimate wimp. When it comes to laser treatments and pain, I'm the ultimate wimp. But the neat thing is with modern technology, there's all sorts of different tools or options. So one thing that I love is Moxi. We're at a Skin CO boosted event here, and I'm going to have a Moxi, and I had my last Moxi a month ago. But it's one of those things where it's such a easy, breezy, in and out, pleasant patient experience that produces great outcomes for healthy, beautiful skin, and even healthy masculine skin that looks fantastic.
Yes, and you don't have to wear makeup.
no makeup.
And I think one of the things, so I've been with Sciton for 6 years and I knew nothing about aesthetics. I know my wife goes, I didn't go with her. So I think one of the things that's great about this is you're going to have to start telling your patients, bring your husband. And when they see it, like I started doing it, I love it. My skin looks great and all things FIBB I'm all about. But now all my friends, all males, they're, ready to go. I want this. What do I got to do? I do maybe have these in my garage, so they always ask to come, and I'm like, I don't do treatments, so I'll send them your way.
I've known you for a little bit, Robbie. We've hung out a little bit. I've be remiss if we didn't talk about the shoe game at Sciton. Okay, and I gotta have the story on how this all started. Every time I've come to a Sciton event, all your employees, they're all out in great shoes. So tell me about how this all started. And by the way, in honor of this, I got some fresh dunks. I got some Sciton gear going on here. So
you got some fresh dunks.
You may have stole some of our kids' shoes.
I may have. No, these are mine. No, these are mine. These are mine.
Some dunks. You got some trophy room.
Trophy room Jordan
I'm 52 and I'm going 53 and I can still pull it off a little bit, I think.
Yeah.
So
sure,
I'm good with it. All right, so tell me about it. How did it start?
I'm rocking some Bob Marley Sambas.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, some Adidas. Limited edition Bob Marley's.
Hopefully they can see them. Can they see our shoes?
Well, we can do this.
Put them up here.
There we go.
There's a trophy outside.
Usually I'm wearing Nikes, but I love Bob Marley, so I had to get that in
my
repertoire.
That's a good call. I like it.
Yeah.
So in true Sciton fashion, I think I'm in about 17 different group chats, which is fantastic. And we have one called the Sneakerhead Sciton. And I will get, Robbie can take credit or not. I would say Dave Marchetti has been our foundation.
It's for sure.
Good.
It's for, no, I had nothing to do with that piece. It's Dave.
It's definitely Dave.
Yeah.
He loves sneakers. And I didn't collect sneakers as much as I do now, but I do. A lot of them are something from my childhood that means something to me. So it's definitely Dave. I don't want to get fired.
Dave is our, and again, we don't really do titles at Sciton, but Dave basically is our leader in charge of USA sales. And, he's been with us for, well over a decade now, a long time. But Dave is a sneakerhead. And I think there were other sneakerheads, but Dave really took it to the forefront. And I mean, that guy has too many sneakers. But he got me, I hate to say it, addicted to the sneaker game. And then now I'm actually at a point where I'm like, don't buy them. Stop buying them. Stop buying them because I don't have room for all the shoes. But I think part of it is as simple as like Shawn spoke to. When we were kids, when I was a kid, I remember the first Jordan releases, and I remember how expensive they were. And so, like for me, my first pair of Jordans, I think, were the Jordan 4s, and for my parents to buy those sneakers at Foot Locker was like. It was like maybe I got the keys to a new car.
That was a couple Christmas presents, wasn't it?
Oh, it was huge.
Yeah.
It was such a big deal. So now it's fun, it's nostalgic, it's throwback, and now obviously as professionals in this part of our life, you can buy a pair of Jordan 4s or 5s or 1s or you name it,
11,
and all of them, all the goods, and have fun.
Well, it's great you can wear a suit and wear.
I know, I love it. You guys are always. These guys are
Totally.
always dialed in.
Yeah.
Every time I see them,
that's what the kids are doing at prom. They're all dressed up in tuxes and they're wearing,
Well, I'll make you a deal.
Yeah.
I'll make you a deal. When we have the build out for Colonial going for FIBB 4. I will put inside our dude den. We will do a wall of custom FIBB shoes.
I love that.
I'm in.
I love it.
I'm in.
Shoes, or at least somewhat sort of.
That's a great idea.
Display for shoes in there. So every time you come in there, I expect a new pair.
In the
Okay.
dude
No, I'm just
den.
kidding.
I'm gonna
I'm
make
gonna
sure
send you your first pair. You're gonna get your first pair, but actually, no, you should wear these. You know,
Yeah.
I'm gonna send you a pair within the next week or so. You'll get a little
You don't
little
have to do that,
package.
but thank you. That's awesome. Yeah.
Yeah.
He picks very cool shoes.
What's that?
He picks very cool
Does he?
shoes. Oh yeah.
Yeah, well, you have done a great job. I don't know if Robbie's supposed to know this or not about getting my wife a couple pairs of them or not over time.
But you know, it's actually he's
Remember, it didn't come from you, right?
Okay, there you go.
Yes, Erica.
There you go.
we
She
love
bought it.
we love gifting at Sciton, though. It's part of our approach to, just really building amazing relationships with our customers and showing how much we care. But it's buying a pair of sneakers and gifting them to one of our amazing family members like you. It feels good, and then and it feels good to wear them as well.
Well, I have to thank you guys for everything that you have done for the practice of FIBB, for Ryann, for growing the way that it has grown over the years. And it has definitely changed our lives for sure. All the Sciton equipment. We took Gene, our videographer, we had him come do a fly-through of our facility in Fort Myers not too long ago. And I lined up every machine that we had inside of there, and I don't know if
Oh, sheesh.
I sent it to Robbie.
The picture
Yeah,
was
so,
shared,
yeah.
but literally it was a wall of Sciton machines, and that didn't account for Estero or Punta Gorda at the time. So it's
And the
like,
new ones that are coming.
yeah. So he's trying. He's good. You're good.
Well,
He's a good one, Robbie.
He's the best. And the cool thing about, I'll digress on Shawn real quick. So I'm from Minnesota. I've lived in West Palm Beach with my family for about a decade now. So now I am a Midwesterner that not leaving Florida, put it that way. And Shawn's in my backyard, and it's, down the road, South Florida. And so it's nice to work with people that you have great friendships with.
Sure, and that's the way we feel about you guys. We definitely do, and we're super excited about the Dude Den, and I know that it's going to take a little time to get off the ground. Guys we're thick-headed, right? And it's tough for us to have that mindset, but I think we're diving into a new area, I think, that can explode. There's a lot of room for growth in that. So
I agree.
And Sciton will be a big part of that for us.
agree.
And we had a patient that came in. They come in as a couple at a time. She's like, "You need a couples room, like a couples massage." So they're both, she was doing Moxi, he was doing Halo. So men are, finding out, and beautiful skin is in.
Absolutely.
Skin health is a thing, and that's what we talk about to all of our patients.
Natural looks, a natural look.
Yes.
Especially right now, we're on this this horizon of just beautiful, and we can use a more masculine word, but a healthy natural look that's youthful. Okay, that makes you look as good as you feel.
Right.
That's really what it's all about, and having that natural look. Whereas I think sometimes the overfilled face of the past, or the just the face that doesn't look natural, that's in the past. That's not now. And you guys have technology to do that.
I walked into the room the other day, and she was getting ready to do a Moxi Halo, I think, on this guy patient.
Yeah, Halo Moxi.
Halo Moxi on this guy patient, and his wife was in there, and hugs, kiss, or whatever, and she had to step out, and I said, "Where are you going?" She goes, "Oh, I got to go to Costco. I got to get some more tequila." So the patient's sitting there sipping on some tequila, and she had to go get more because they keep a bottle at the practice.
Well, he's a classic example of, his wife has been coming to us for years, and, he's starting to see some, basal cell pop up, dermatologist visit, and we have a lot of dermatologists that are referring to our practice.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yes, because they're seeing these transformations in people's skin. And so, his dermatologist said yes, he had a squamous cell on him, and, we got clearance. He ended up having Mohs, but then I got my single spot out and treated over it. This is 6 months later.
Yep.
So we were able to customize these treatments and, help these patients. He's had 3 halos now, and his dermatologist can't believe it. So
That's fantastic.
yeah.
And the scar is gone.
Yes, gone.
Well, being a trusted provider in the community, it's amazing. It's super important. And then the fact that you've got a multidisciplinary approach where others are referring to you that trust you, and you're also doing it right by having referring out the Mohs, and that's a good house. That's the way to run it.
Yes, and we hear too that people are like, I went to my derm, they have litiginous dyschromias that are, to me it's a slam dunk. I know what I can do, with our innovative, BBL Halo, and they were told there's nothing they can do for their skin. And that's disappointing to hear, because there's, these treatments, one treatment of BBL Halo. I mean, we can, provide miracles.
Beautiful combination.
Life-changing for our patients. Yeah. So let's talk a little bit about guys and pain.
Wow.
The pain threshold. There is some research to say women, the more it hurts, the better, like the more we want, because we think it's going to equivalent better results. But guys don't want that.
Well, there are, I'm not going to say any names specifically, but there are devices out there that you don't feel, you don't hear any noise, and then you're supposed to pay $800 to $900, whatever, for this treatment, and you go home, and if I did that, I'd be upset. So I need to feel something.
Yes,
for sure. But not too here. And I think lasers, I do everything with FIBB. I'm sure we'll get into that in a second, but you can do these things. It's 15 to 20 minutes. It's uncomfortable. It's heat, but then you're not bleeding. It's nothing, and your skin looks great in 5 days. So if you're out there, dudes and dudettes, do it. Dudettes, I'm going to say, if you want your husband to look better, listen, okay. If you want your husband to look better, maybe you don't, but if you do, bring him with you to your next appointment, and you can get anything from BioT, lasers, pigment, rosacea, cherry, everything done. And it's all done in one office. So listen, please. That's it. Off my soapbox.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. Yeah, I don't mind the pain. The first one I was a little skeptical of, but as I've done several now, they become way less painful and easy. And I'll always do a timeline post of video the treatment itself, the day after it, the 2 days, 3 days, 4 days, 4 days, 5 days. I'll always put on my social media all of those days. And by day 5, the men's are gone for me and pretty much back to normal. Still a little pink, and that'll go on for a little while. But
you can even stair step where you could have, depending on the technology.
And we're talking Halo here.
Halo, sure, Halo. But you could. There's so many different ways that the system in the hands of experts can be tuned to give you what you want. So you're not getting a big oh wow, what just happened? I didn't sign up for that. You can get going into the chair, the treatment room. You can have an upfront contract with your provider. This is kind of where I want to be, and then you guys have all the best devices on earth. So then you can actually meet that condition.
Yeah, and guys love it. You guys do have thicker skin, if you will. But even an aggressive Halo, guys usually 5 days later, they're all healed up and ready to go, and they're seeing 2 weeks a change in their skin, and they
meaningful change.
Yes.
And I will say with guys, I know me particularly, I can't speak for Shawn or Robbie here, but as soon as I see the difference in that, I'm bought in, right? Because we're all chasing youth. At the end of the day, we're all chasing. We want to look 30 years old all the time, right? We just do. If our women and our wives and our girlfriends are going to go in and do it, we got to keep up.
Yeah, and
we got to keep up.
They're doing Botox, and I have that conversation. We do a little resurfacing. Those wrinkles are going to get better, and it leads to not doing so much of that. But guys are working out, taking care of your body, eating healthy. Why not have
I see it all the time.
I'm with you.
Healthy skin.
We all went to the gym this morning, right?
Sure.
We all did. We're all working on our cardio. We're all working on how we look, how we feel.
Absolutely.
Right? Every day we're working on that. But the devices that we have from you guys definitely enhance and help all of that, right?
Yes. Oh, without a doubt.
So
it's the full package. It's the full package. And what's neat is I think future generations of humans, and men in particular, will really learn that, once you get at it, even at an earlier point in your life,
sure,
and you maintain it,
it's
a lasting approach.
Is there an age that you recommend somebody start it?
I think the recommendation would be, obviously within reason, right? Would be that if somebody feels they've got a need, go for it. There's so many different ways to approach unique cosmetic need. But what's interesting in the past, few years, I think this focus on health, period. Skin health has become a tangible part of that equation. So we have seen a tremendous outpouring in the millennial community for everything healthy. And that can include what to eat, how to work out, and how to take care of your skin and protect your skin from, harmful UV rays, but also how to clean your skin and get you back to baseline.
Yeah, we're seeing a huge, even 20-year-olds, men coming in for Moxi.
And it's never too late, right?
Yeah. I love Moxi. Moxi's a great treatment, I think, for everyone. But that in particular, I've had, from growing up, I've got fair skin. I've got tremendous photo damage on my arms. And it's something that lately I've been getting after with Moxi. Yeah. And it's amazing because no topical.
She crushes acreage. My hands all the time, every time.
Staying on, especially in Florida. These are things that I think in years to come, this will become more of the standard for skin health.
Sure.
That has cosmetic benefit.
I like that.
Versus people coming in for cosmetic benefit. We're going to be educated enough to know that, hey, you live in South Florida. This is your lifestyle. If you're not doing this, you're not going to have the healthy skin that you need to live a longer life.
That's a great takeaway right there.
Well, and that, when the guys come in too with their wives and, the wives bring them in, can you look at this? And, well, I'm too old, they're golfing, pickleball, tennis, boating, and I said, no, it's not too late because it can turn into skin cancer. And so I think that is really, it's all ages, and they're realizing that it's not too late even in their 60s. So.
For sure.
Yeah.
Well, I know you got another engagement.
Dude, Dan is so cool. I'm gonna make a trip up and check that out when you guys are rolling.
Doors always open.
Maybe we do something like this again in the den.
Doors always open.
Yes. Well, again, we're here at Skin CEO Boosted in Orlando, and they have more events coming up all around the country.
Every month.
What's next? What's after this?
As far as a training, we have a Posner.
Skin
CEO is really fun. I'm going over the pond to London. And this is the first. We've done some really amazing rockstar events in Europe, but this is the first time that Skin CEO is going over to Europe, to the UK. Going to be in London, the new boosted format. So that's happening in May. At the end of June, we have a very special Skin CEO boosted in Maryland or Washington, D.C. But that's what's on the immediate horizon.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hopefully they invited in the mail for the Skin CEO London.
We were just there.
All right.
Yeah, I love how you guys have expanded into, usually it's, Europe coming to U.S., but it's awesome how.
It's tremendously received because we are unabashedly Sciton. The show that you receive there is who we are. It's not changed or adjusted outside of the fact of having local speaking talent or, national speaking talent from Europe or from across the world. But, so we do have that kind of diversity in terms of the outcome. But the show itself is, the DJ gets on the plane. DJ Ripham is there with us. Some of our top speakers in the U.S., our top speakers globally. We all go over there and we have a good time and share a lot of valuable education in the process. People are loving it.
If you want to talk a little bit about Sciton and getting the providers to let them know about Skin CEO as well, it's like getting our local ones that are involved.
Yes.
Been to it before, maybe?
Yeah, I am friends with a lot of our med spas around our area. We say there's enough patients for everybody. So a lot of our providers in our area have come, and some of them are coming up. Our whole team's coming up to this one. Well, half of our team.
Cool. I can't wait to see them.
Yeah, it's just an opportunity again to really, get educated on how to give your patients the best results, because that's really what drives us every day.
That's the truth.
And so I think if you haven't been to one, you absolutely should. The epic lineup and that you guys have, world renowned.
Including you.
Yes. So I'm excited to share my story, of course, and I always welcome questions. I take phone calls all the time about helping people, and as providers building, this kingdom, as you will, or no, just as growing our practices. A lot of my colleagues, we're talking 2 or 3 times a day on how to grow practices, troubleshooting, and patient-driven results, and even devices, what to bring in. I just got 2 phone calls about a derm PA who's leaving her practice and she's starting her own, and I said BBL Moxi, start with that.
It's a great starting point.
Yeah.
Where is she located?
Yes, we'll talk. But we are, you know,
The
again,
community aspect is huge.
Yeah.
And you know, the interesting thing with Skin CEO Boosted is we have taken so much care and invested so much time into making this program unique. So for our guests, our customers, our people that went to Skin CO last year, this is entirely different. The first thing that we covered as we kicked off the New Year's, I called up all of our KOLs that had topics and I said, has to be entirely different. The slide decks used last year were amazing. Entirely different. So folks, we want people to go to a large scale Sciton event every single year, knowing that it's going to be fresh, it's going to be new, and it's going to be a great build to the education that they already have.
You have a handle?
Robbie Laser, ROBBIE Laser.
follow
Thank
him.
you.
He's entertaining.
It's good stuff.
Yeah.
You should follow.
And we're Sciton, Florida.
Yes.
Follow us too. Not as entertaining.
Your stuff is
You got some good stuff on there. You got some good stuff.
Not as creative though, but I'll do better.
Yes, and of course, you guys know where to find us. So thanks again, and do you fib? Do you fib?
I
Do you
fib.
fib?
I'm all about the fib.
Yes.
I do that too.
Yeah, and do
do
den.
den.
You should
Do
do
den.
den too.
Do den.
And do den.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
joining us. Have a good one.